Hello,
Hey!
people.
It worked the first time. It didn't start up to a black screen. We actually got it the
Yeah,
first time.
because you got yourself ready first.
Well, even when no, it was the thing. Like, there's been seriously a couple times where I have made double sure that you know the the preview showed it perfectly. You know, I used to preview to
Hmm.
mock it up and make sure all my stuff's right beforehand, and then I turn it off, and not but a second or two later, turn it right back on, but turn it on to stream, and it goes to black, and you don't see the thing I was trying to record. So
Because it loves you.
then it's
Oh,
very much a
damn, that's
tsundere.
a
It runs hot and cold.
that's a good pick.
Yes, I thought so. Those eyes. All right. Let's see. Get my notes up and close that. All right. All right. We're all ready.
Yeah,
Season 7, Episode 10, A Royal Problem. This was something we've been kind of begging for a while. At least a lot of the fan base has been. Uh, Getting to know the sisters better. Which,
yeah,
as some people have said, this is the season of getting to know these kind of secondary, tertiary characters that they haven't really done anything with. And then just kind of, oh, here, we're going to actually develop these characters. We've waited 7 seasons to do so, but here they are. Um, though Celestia did get a little bit in Celestial Advice, which was good.
yeah.
It's like, yes. And so we also learn a bit about, their dynamic and what they're like personality wise. We've seen lots of Luna, but Celestia, it's always been kind of this put on a pedestal statue. Um,
I mean, the whole "Oh my Celestia."
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
We've gotten glimpses.
She's deified.
Yeah, we got a glimpse at Cranky Matilda's wedding, and we got a little bit, oh, a good bit of her personality as well in Celestial Advice, which it was funny to find out how much like Twilight she was, and then
And we get, little peeks at, yeah, she's just a person, a pony. I mean, like the whole, I'm glad you invited, of course I invited Discord. This was the most fun I've had in a long time.
Yeah,
yes,
just a normal pony with unlimited godlike powers that she never uses.
yes, Trollestia. Uh, yeah, we've gotten little glimpses of her, and it's nice to see her kind of, for lack of a better term, humanized. And we also get a kind of a glimpse into the personalities of the two sisters, because before, again, kind of pedestal, but we see, um, we're kind of shown that Celestia is your multitasking type. She's good with dealing with loads of ponies, while keeping up appearances, while juggling things. She's a multitasking kind of an extrovert because seems to enjoy, and she's tired at the end of the day, but she seems to enjoy dealing with dignitaries, dealing with all that. Whereas Luna, we find out, is more an introvert. She's solid. She's used to the solitude, and she works with one challenging problem at a time. finishes it and moves on to the next. She's
Just smile
focused.
and wave.
Yeah,
Hmm.
she didn't quite.
Also, I do agree with her. It is a pain to smile for too long.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it depends on different people, different things. Some people can smile for hours and just, and some people can't. Um, but okay, so a few firsts this episode. Um, the first time we get Starlight called out, and the first time that it's been, you know, a solo call.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah. And for the first time for that to happen, for it to be a non-main six character, is interesting.
Yeah.
I I I do like that. Well, okay, so Twi gets just flanderized just a tiny bit in this episode. She gets very much, uh, becomes very much a mother hen, and her reaction to Starlight being called reminds me of a little bit of the lost treasure of Griffinstone as well. It's like, I want to know what's going on, but I know I mustn't. I mustn't go. She finds a way around that, but you know, I can't go because I can't interfere because the map didn't call me. If the map wanted me to go, they would have called me. But
Well, she is a control freak, and we know this.
yes,
And when you're a control freak and can't control something, it kind of causes a bit of panic.
yeah,
It's kind of like how when somebody asks for help with a video game and you take it to fix that one, to help them with that one piece, and then you're like, no, 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 I can't do the entire game for them.
yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, and the thing is, well, that it is a bit slightly overdone with Twilight, but she is that much of kind of a control freak about things, and she's also dealing with her teacher, the one she infinitely respects, and her student, the one she's worried about, are now going to be interacting without her to help smooth things out. It's like,
Yep.
yes, this is going to be very interesting. Yeah, I am totally okay with this. Yes, yes, I will be. I'm going to have to be okay with this. Yes. You know, you know, and those tendencies really more or less, instead of helping, just stress Starlight out more. Though, to be fair to Twilight, a real fight between these two would be literally cataclysmic if they ever got serious. Um,
Yeah.
that is using literally correctly. Um, so, and Twilight has an idealized version of the sisters. Starlight sees them as just two sisters, and there's also a matter of she has no problem standing up to the princesses because she lives with one. Not one of the sisters, but she lives with a princess, and familiarity breeds contempt. She's not awestruck, she's not starstruck by princesses because she freaking lives with one, and she sees that they're just ponies too, and so that lets her make,
Especially considering which princess she lives with.
yes, probably the most human, for the lack of the better term, you know.
Craziest, at least.
Yeah.
Hi, girls. Oh.
Yeah, not creepy at all, Twilight.
uh, though I like that we got the Twilight music box. It's an
That was
interesting
cute.
way for Twi to bend the rules a little. Oh. Which makes me wonder how soon until somebody produces that. Either
Oh,
Hasbro or some fan made thing. Somebody's gonna make
oh, it's
that.
probably already been done.
Yeah, if Hasbro doesn't do it, some fan will put it together. At least like an example of it. They may not make it for production, but just like I actually made it. It appeared in the show. Here it is. Um, so we learned that the two sisters um they they both do things for one another, but they don't realize that the other one is doing something for them too. And so this sorts of, or they don't they don't appreciate or don't recognize that they're doing something for them. And so this causes the tension um, with Celestia making breakfast for them every morning, um, while Luna replaces lavender every night so that they can have a soothing scent. Neither really appreciates the other. Also, Luna has just like insane teeth. Just bites into a pineapple. Just straight up bites a
Yeah,
pineapple. It's like,
I was like, damn,
Mhm.
Luna.
and then eats a,
She got some strong teeth.
yeah, and then later on eats the banana peel. It's like, how did you, how?
Luna,
I mean,
are you okay?
there's a certain amount of leeway because they're horses and their digestive tracts are a little more all terrain than humans, but there's a limit.
Yes. I don't think banana pills taste that great.
Let's see. And they're each neither takes the other one's job seriously. Um, which I guess Celestia during her 1,000 year isolation from Luna raised and lowered the moon, but she didn't do dream walking, so she never understood that. It wasn't part of her powers. She could move the moon just because she was freaking Celestia, and it's easier than moving the sun, which I come back to later because she says she seems surprised the moon is easy. Like, you did this for 1,000 years. You raised and lowered the moon for 1,000 years, unless for some
Yes, but
reason.
Luna does other things.
Yeah, I know. No, I
She
just
just raised the moon.
I was just specifically talking about the moon bit.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Luna did all this other stuff that she couldn't have done, but she seemed to be able to lift the moon easy enough for 1,000 years, so I wouldn't think she would think it too
he was probably too tired by that point.
Yeah.
So Starlight kind of kind of opens up what's going on and says, "Okay, you're not appreciating what she's doing. You're not appreciating what she's doing. You're you don't really appreciate each other in that regard. So why don't you go see? It's the old trope of walk a day in the other one's shoes, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it's an older trope, but it checks out. You know, but it really works for this particular episode because it's what they needed to do to appreciate the kind of things each one does, because neither of them thinks the other one's job is particularly difficult. Uh,
Yeah, so they switched cutie marks, and what you actually didn't see at the very end of the episode after the credits, Starlight was sent to the moon.
they seemed happy enough at the end that I don't think she was sent to the moon.
You know, I have a slight complaint about Luna's cutie mark.
Oh,
What?
So Well, see, I was left to believe that her cutie mark was just the moon, the black stuff was not part of her cutie mark, but apparently it is.
Yeah, that's well.
Well, no, I mean, because here's why I'm saying that. Because in the episode Twilight's Kingdom, when they have to give up their magic to Twilight so T-Rex doesn't steal it, and their cutie marks disappear, Cadence's, Celestia's, and Luna's disappear. For Luna, only the moon disappears. The black part doesn't disappear.
Hmm, I didn't look into
Mhm.
that, but yeah, if that's the case, then it's just a little continuity problem, I suppose.
Yeah, I to make sure to double check, I actually went on my phone and watched that scene again to make sure I was right.
Hmm. Let's see. So Twi freaks out about the swapping. Glim Glam
Yeah.
sticks her in a drawer.
You know, I bet so many of Twilight's friends wish they could do that.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
uh, so in this, Luna realizes how hard it is to smile and keep up appearances, and that Celestia doesn't always get the opportunity to finish her work before she starts the next thing. She has to keep running and keep working on things as she can. She has to keep multitasking or she won't get anything done.
There
Uh,
are no Timberwolves.
Oh my god, the timber wizard is!
let's see. And then Celestia, she isn't used to the solitude and starts talking to herself.
I love it when Luna's like, so did you ever talk to yourself? Like, yes.
It thinks helping dreams will be easy since they aren't real.
Yes,
They're
well.
a little more complex than that. And now the dream rundown. Um, so the first bubble is Mini Fluttershy on Angel's head. It's likely like the dream episode, Two Princesses Dream of Magic Sheep. Uh, it's likely Fluttershy's wanting to be the pet. And so she's tiny and sitting on Angel's head. We get Daring Do is swinging. Maybe Rainbow Dash, maybe not. We get Flurry Heart with Shades as a DJ with her mother dancing.
It's
Some of
cute.
these it's hard to tell whose dream it is. Uh, Discord and the Smooze. Uh, we get Pinky surfing on Gummy's back.
The
Well,
smoothie you dream of me.
or Discord dreams of the Smooze.
Nah,
Oh
he dreams of
my.
his Fluttershy.
Let's see. Uh, what looks like baby AJ and probably her parents. Um, though who's dreaming that, I don't know. It could be. Um, it could be AJ, but I don't know. Well, I guess she would have been old enough to remember them uh, if Apple Bloom was around. So, um, Twilight flying with Rainbow Dash. I don't, again, either Rainbow Dash or Twilight. I don't know. The fact that Twilight's keeping up with Rainbow Dash, maybe it's Twilight.
Well, maybe it's Rowan Dash because I'd be kind of surprised Twilight would be asleep.
She's gotta sleep sometime.
Well, she'd probably be too worried. Like, I can't sleep, but she's screwing everything up.
Maybe she worried herself out that she wore herself out. Worried herself, try that again. Worried herself so much that she wore herself out and just passed out. Um, then we get Dr. Hooves in the royal maze, hiding from a statue, and he does blink.
No, don't blink.
Flim and Flam with loads of gold coins, fairly obvious. And then, as a final little cherry on the sundae, we get Derpy in royal regalia and straightened eyes. She has the Twiscepter, a red crown, and purple cloak, which are probably all just reused assets. Red crown, I think, was from Discord, though I think they probably used that a few times. The purple cloak idea was from.
I gotta rewatch that scene again because I missed like most of that.
Yeah, I slowed it down and I went bit by bit to collect everything. It was cool. I like that. I like it when the animators get to kind of throw stuff in.
Damn, I wanted to see Princess Big Mac.
Would have been funny at that point if they knew what order it would come in if it was a dream of Sugar Belle. And and Big Mac is in Princess Big Mac mode, and Sugar Belle is either in awe or going what?
Big Mac, I think we need to start seeing other ponies.
So, with all this thrown around, we enter Starlight's nightmare. So, she's pursued by talking pancakes, lands on a bed of flowers, and then becomes the little ballerina to a gigantic Twi who has the sister's kitty marks in her eyes.
I am your god.
Well, I mean, she is the goddess in charge of her. I mean, the alicorns are essentially deities. They're demigods in a way. So Celestia then comes in, and Starlight is worried about having messed up by swapping their marks and making them try the other's thing. And
I stopped smiling for a second.
Isn't that always how it happens, though, especially on ID pictures?
Yep. Oh no, I purposely don't smile. It shows how much I hated school.
Well, I found a bunch of old pictures of me. Every single one of the pictures of me look like I literally can't give a fuck.
But for like actual like normal ID cards, they for some reason here they have a rule where you actually can't smile. It messes with the face recognition or something. I don't really know.
Anyway, so at this point, Nightmare Moon appears, and Celestia knows how to handle it. But then we get Daybreaker.
Which I have to say, I like the name Daybreaker, but I kind of a little bit like the fan name a little bit better for her, which was Solar Flare.
Yeah, they're both okay, though.
Yeah, I mean, Daybreaker's still a good name.
Yeah. Which takes Celestia's mild arrogance. She gets a little cocky from time to time. But then takes it and then turns it up to 11. At which point, we cut to Luna's dream, where her insecurity about her smile is amped up by the foals who pointed out eerily. It's very much, are you my mummy levels of kind of creepy.
Yeah, that was creepy.
And thinking about it, this may be the first time Luna has not been in control of a dream. If her powers were always dream-based, this may be one of the first times Luna has ever not been in control of a dream in 1,000 years.
Yeah, interesting fact though. So it's interesting that her teeth are falling out. Like I know they were falling out because the smile thing, but like I did a little bit like dream study research and stuff, but supposedly if you ever have a dream where your teeth are falling out, that signifies you're afraid. It signifies a loss of control in your life.
Yeah, the one I looked up said it's commonly believed to be a sign of insecurity about one's appearance and how others perceive you.
Mm,
But, yeah, it's essentially you don't feel in control.
yeah.
And then we get a little bit of interesting wordplay. When Celestia defeats Daybreaker, Daybreaker says, "You can't destroy me. I'm everything you want to be." Celestia says, "No, you're not. You are not real, and you will never exist again." Exist again? So, did Celestia at some point in the past briefly become her? Or is she just referring to the dream existence?
Hopefully, just
I think
referring
she was
to the
referring
dream.
to the dream.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too, because that would have come up at some point, but who knows? Um, so Luna makes awful pancakes, but they learn to appreciate each other and they agree to be more forthcoming with each other. As soon as the plot resolves, Twilight instantly appears and praises Starlight, but she wants all the details.
Oh yes, yes, and Starlight's happy to be dragged away. It's like, can I go back to being evil?
Yeah.
Evil was easy.
Yeah, evil didn't have this.
Evil didn't have rules. Evil didn't have obsessive masters. Can I just
And then,
go back to the dark side? They had cookies.
Luna
Yes.
realized, oh hey, those kids can go on the field trip. I can just pay for it. I'm the princess of the night. I'm pretty sure I have money. I mean, Twilight seems to be rich.
At any rate, well, Celestia could probably make it happen without having to dig into the royal expenditures.
She was like, you shall go on your field trip for free, and you shall be happy little ponies.
But overall, good episode. Humanized the sisters, so we actually learn a bit more about their personalities and how they interact on a daily basis. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, but now I kind of want to see Questia rolled by Daybreaker Nightmare Moon.
I'm sure if they do that thing like they did with like they do something where they are allowed to show alternate timelines. I'm sure we're gonna get one where we see Daybreaker. Because once they've done that much work to design her, they're gonna use her at some point. I don't know when. I don't know where. They'll find a way. They put that much effort into her. They'll find a way to bring her back. That said, though,
Mhm.
Trenderhoof hasn't made a comeback, so
True.
Maybe she will exist again. That was foreboding.
yeah,
Or
foreshadowing.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Foreboding foreshadowing, for that matter.
But good episode. I enjoy much.
That's good. Even if it have a continuity thing, but it was still great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, well, if that's that, we shall move on to the next.
Pink Pony make good stomp.
Big pony.
Alright, let's switch this to.
I thought that was in the other.
Make sure that's still broadcasting. Yeah. All right. All right.
Oh, somebody said hi. I shall say hi back.
Yes,
Hi.
you are.
Hi.
Bye.
You're perpetually high.
I don't know. I'm looking at the pic, and I mean it's a good pic, but no, I'm looking at it, and Ramodash's expression just seems weird. Like, what am I
Okay.
witnessing? Yeah.
Which was kind of my expression on this episode. Okay, that was a thing that happened.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a good episode.
Eh.
I mean,
Okay,
not
before we get
story
started into it,
wise. Yeah.
Season 7, Episode 11, Not Asking for Trouble. Not a fan of this episode. Its moral is going to come off really muddled. And I'm also not a huge fan of the yaks. So if you're not a
Yak
fan of
smash.
if you're not a fan of the yaks, you are not going to like this episode. uh,
You don't like the yak, do you?
no, I'm not a fan. Yeah, overall the moral's a little muddled and it's unfocused. It doesn't execute well. It's got some cool cultural bits, but it loses something in. It's like they wrote a story involving the axe, and then went back and tried to tack a moral onto it, and they didn't start with that in mind. But let's go through the episode, I guess. The animators do have fun with Pink
The
Pony's
squeaky
movements.
voice gets the most gets the grease. She was like, "Can I?"
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
And we find out she also uses pink paper. Just like Luna uses blue paper.
Yeah.
The animators have fun with Pink Pony's movements and send her all over town before reaching Twilight. It's like, yeah, she sends her way out of town, and they send them way out of town and go all over this place, and then all the way back through, and then, oh, there's Twilight. It's like, did you intentionally take a circuitous route just to get the rest of the main six to follow her? It's Pinky, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, and Pink Pony Maine makes no sense.
Especially considering how much you can stuff in there. It's
Yeah,
like a
and-
TARDIS. You can shove anything in there.
And how
It is
well
dimensional.
how well she can move it too.
Yeah. She can make a drill out of it. She can make a hat.
Yeah.
She can make a brooch. See how many people actually get that reference. Yeah. Considering she could store an entire guitar in there, just go. Oh, shunk. What?
But remember, she has to feed it a pony like once a week to sate its hunger.
So that's where Screwball ended up.
Yep.
So, Twilight uses some royal authority for once and nominates Pinky Friendship Ambassador to the Axe. She doesn't need to consult the sisters about ambassadors. Not that I think they disagree, considering she's got the most experience with them and seems to have the best, kind of relation with them, but still.
It's a friendship ambassador. She's the princess of friendship. She can do what she wants.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It's like a title that is completely pointless, but it makes the people feel better. Like an
Anyway.
executive producer.
Anyway. One second. So, Pinky takes Gummy. It seems to me taking a reptile with you to the frozen north is a bad idea.
Bad idea. I thought the same thing.
Pink Pony not know anything about reptilian metabolism. So the festival involves relaxing by stomping on things.
That's a great way to relax.
Yes. The prince tricks Ponka into thinking a twig she was destroying was sacred, and then relents as a prank. Which
Good
was
prank.
Which was funny. It is good prank. So yaks apparently make mud huts, tell stories by the bonfire, and eat cakes with perfectly balanced vanilla. Now here's where another problem comes in with this. There's a lot of little plot holes here. This isn't a big plot hole, but it's a little... Wait, what? It says vanilla isn't imported, but vanilla doesn't grow in the frozen north. It grows around the same places that the coffee bean grows, kind of in the tropics. And
Maybe it's not imported. It's just not natural. They secretly have mastered the art of artificial flavoring.
They could have a greenhouse.
Yeah.
yeah, I suppose, but yeah, it seems like as much vanilla as they want to use, and it's not imported. It's not imported. You know, it's like, and really, with the level of their architecture, a greenhouse. I mean, it's all mud huts.
Besides, the first stomping match they get into, it'll shatter.
Yeah,
Greenhouses are glass.
I mean, yeah, and you could make it out of tougher things like plastic, but then again, you have to have the yaks
They don't
know
have
how to
plastic
make
out there.
plastic. Yeah, they're still at mud. They're not even at wood and drywall yet. So I'm not particularly thinking plastic is a thing that's going to happen. So Pinky takes in the yak culture, but the stomping starts an avalanche and buries the town. And the yaks, who live in the frozen north with lots of snow and a culture that desires stomping around, doesn't have a snow clearing plan. They're not good at clearing snow, and violent digging only brings on another avalanche. That seems like a rather big plot hole. It's like, so these yaks live in the frozen north, are huge, and they can't clear snow. It seems like if you were living up there, that would be one of the first things you would know how to do, would be to clear snow. Because that's one of the things you are going to have to do.
No, you just patiently wait.
Especially considering how easy it seems for them to make avalanches.
Yeah, this seems like something that they would know. They would know in some way, shape, or form. They would have a technique, a method. And they do not. And that's a big hole in the middle of this episode that just... What?
No, just patiently wait for snow to melt.
Yeah, which brings this line up. Wait for snow to melt. Yaks known for their patience.
No, you're not.
Really? No, you're not. Yeah. You know, and so Rutherford resists help from Ponyville. They have the hooves. They have the. If the main six can go down there and rip it up, these numerous, huge bison, or not bison, yaks, but these huge, creatures can't clear the snow. Even if what if Pinky guided them? She's been part of Winter Wrap Up. She probably knows how to clear the snow decently enough. She does the figure skating, but she's probably seen them clear the snow, so she knows the kind of techniques they do. And
Although the main thing what they did was Rainbow Dash
cleared the
move
sky.
the sky, moved the clouds, got the sun melting the snow.
And
Which they
Twilight
can't do.
used her magic to levitate it.
Yeah, but still, I mean, they're already there. They don't have to make an extra trip down to Ponyville. They could, if they put their hooves to it, they could probably clear it out.
Yeah, they could just probably like put a thing on their horns to make like a makeshift snowplow.
Yeah, seriously, that's my first instinct is, okay, you have big horns attached to your head. You are very, very strong. Just put it down and push. Push you out a main, push out the main road. Clear that out, and then just have everybody push the snow to the main road, and then just have one yak standing there, and every time it gets enough snow, he just pushes it out of town. He just pushes it out the main road and out of town. And so soon enough, you've piled the snow outside of town.
Yeah. And you make a giant snowball, and then it rolls down and crushes Ponyville.
Anyway, so Rutherford resists help from Ponyville. Yak stubborn will not concede that the snow is a problem. Pinky then takes a different tack and tries to use an allegory of their current situation, replacing yaks with goats and ponies with cows. The moral is lost on the prince since he thinks the goats were just weak.
And now I wanna see the new show My Little Bovine.
Friendship is
I bet it
mujic.
has a really plot.
The prince, according to him, spent a winter trapped in an ice hole. But the story falls apart pretty quickly under questioning. So Prince Rutherford just leave. Pinky vows to help him anyway, but he tells her to leave. And Rutherford continues to push his bravado onto the other yaks. So Pinky goes, rounds up the troops, gathers the six for a covert assistance mission with her in her covert mission gear. Which, them sneaking around, Fluttershy's sneaking animation is adorable. It's so soft.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just soft. So, 6 ponies in one night completely restored the village. Albeit they do have magic involved. But if they could fix it in a night, what are you doing? So we get, we at the end when Rutherford figures out Pinky was the one who cleared it for them. You know, he says, "Wait, Yak not mad at Pink Pony. Yak not? Pink Pony help Yaks without Yaks asking. Means Pink Pony understand Yaks. I do, son. I do. Pink Pony the best kind of friend. Officially honorary Yak." And then she gets her own honorary yak horns, and she can officially horn bump. And so the moral here is if someone is stubborn and too prideful to help themselves despite their definite need to help themselves, just do it for them and don't let them know you're doing it.
I think it's more even if you can't ask for help, somebody should help you anyway.
I guess so.
Still, there's some problems in there. Which would, if you take my interpretation of it, you get, even if somebody says they don't want help, do it anyway, because you know better.
Yeah, that
But I mean, this episode had some interesting little bits, and I like that we got some yak culture, and we got we got to find out about them. But there are plot holes in this episode you could drive a truck through. Just
or I think Pinky drilled them with her hair.
just huge problems. It would be one thing if the main six were stuck in the snow and they didn't know how to clear it out. They were out on some adventure and they got stuck in snow. That would be one thing. But these are yaks. They've lived here for 1,000 moons. They didn't ever figure out how to clear snow. I mean, if it was like an agricultural problem or something like that, okay, some disease that's common to Equestria but not common to the north gets in there and messes with their crops, and they did that, okay, then that makes a little more sense. But
there are quite a few episodes throughout the years that have had that same plot hole where they've apparently been doing this for a very long time. Why can't they solve this problem now?
Yeah, it's like you had to have
encountered that one,
did you
like
just
there were a couple of them where it's like a seasonal thing that they have to face all of a sudden, even though, dude, you face this every year.
Yeah.
It's like yak pee on snow to make snow melt.
Maybe that's it. They normally pee on the snow, but they didn't want to offend Pinky.
I love it when Piggy's like, so, wait, how did you make a big enough hole to fall in, and how did it freeze over so quickly, and how did they see you?
Yeah.
See, Pinky understands.
It's like,
plot
Pinky,
holes.
should you really talk about stuff that doesn't make sense? You don't make sense.
This is true. Like, I use Yak Prince use Pinky power.
Like, oh, okay.
No, stop questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, there were some cool bits here and there and some fun animation, but the overall story is a little
Weak.
Yeah.
It was clear filler.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the author of this episode was. Let's see one sec. See if it's somebody we've had before.
Maybe it was one of the Spike writers.
Yeah.
This felt like one of the old Spike episodes.
Except Yaks.
Yeah.
Yak, pick up idiot ball. Mei Chan was the author for this one. Writers. And see if they've gotten her. I don't remember Mei Chan before. She probably is new. Let's see. Congo.
But anyway, this was like one of the greatest episodes ever.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yaks, they're the best.
Here she is. Mei Chan. Previous writing credits include Avatar: The Last Airbender, Phineas and
Oh.
Ferb, and Voltron: Legendary Defender. This is her first
Eh.
episode for MLP. So, yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, we'll see. She got Pinky right, though, I guess. So, there were plot holes, but she got Pinky right. Her kind of fun character. But I guess that's it for not asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. And boop. Okay. Wow.
Well, I guess this is good night then. Bye. Okay, time for me to voice Pun Pony.
Time for me to chop off your vital organs and feed them to you. Or in your case, not so vital and probably non-existent.
True. I think I just gave up my heart for a lollipop, although I may be wrong.
1 second, I'll be right back. I'm getting some more water.
So it's like funny. So on Tuesday, like 5 minutes before I wake up, I get a phone call saying there's no work today. I'm like, oh, yay. Because they're like out of ingredients or something. And now it's like, oh, since we didn't work Tuesday, we have to work Saturday now. I'm like, oh, great. There goes my 3-day weekend.
Well, I just found out the store I worked in shut down yesterday. So I have to go find
Really?
another place to work at. Yeah. That's the second time that's happened to me.
You
What
are
store
really
did
bad
you
with your
work
work.
at?
I've worked at that store since August of 15. And I've been like their best insider.
Damn.
That's all right. There's other stores around here.
What happened? I mean, why did it shut down?
Sales, short staff.
Well, then hire taller staff.
Well, the other problem was, like, we spent the last week, like, cleaning the crap
It
out of
must
the
be this
store.
fault.
We thought we were going to have inspection. And then I get the call saying they shut down the store. I'm like, well, okay, all that hard work was for nothing.
Apparently.
Yeah, you'd think they'd have a little more warning.
it's tough. Business is business, and I'm not gonna name who and whatever because I'm not that kind of guy, and I know we're streaming, so
Hmm.
it's a job. That's all.
It'd be kind of funny to work at Blockbuster, like anybody asks. So where do you work? I work at Blockbuster. It's like that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? There's like 15 of those
Yeah.
stores left in the world.
Yeah, there's actually like let's see, there's actually like 50 Blockbusters left in the store, but they're now all like privately owned or something.
Yeah. I know there's a family video, and like they work with like a franchise of a pizza company, and they take 1/3 of their store and make it a pizza place. So therefore, like you can rent a movie and get pizza,
Yeah.
That's a sweet deal.
Hmm.
and plus, it's in the smaller communities as well, which helps as well.
Let's see.
Not sure how.
I think we're on page past 69.
73.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we do Pen Pony last week? I can't remember.
No, because we had the
Oh
quad
no,
reviews.
we did
No.
the 4-episode thing.
Did a
Yeah,
perfect-
yeah.
The week before, when you weren't here, we did.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Somebody's having mic problems.
Who?
Might be you. I don't know. I don't know, it just sounds like
My-
it's rubbing against something.
Maybe. It's my phone, so I might have.
Don't worry.
Alright.
I shall have a great pun voice.
No,
I shall
you shall
Pop
not.
up into little
There you go.
pieces.
Hello, I am Pun
Dude,
Yeah.
no. Don't do that. Don't ever do that.
Okay.
It's kind of a fitting meme to start with, seeing as how it starts with a sonic screwdriver.
Uh, Why?
I've actually done that before.
Of course you have.
Literally given somebody a
I-
sonic screwdriver.
Yeah. It wasn't actually quite that detailed. It was a screwdriver and the handle was blue. So I decorated it to look like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Wow. So, anybody that's watching the stream, let's see, which is, come on, load, you damn it, which is currently nobody at the moment. Well, anybody that's gonna be watching this pun-alicious video, just a fair heads up, my allergies are hitting me, so I may sneeze a couple times during the reading.
Yeah, you're starting to get it. It's starting to wind
It's
down around here.
Yeah, I love allergies. They're so great.
I'm
But
just allergic to stupidity. I break out in sarcasm.
Uh,
Yeah, ours start around February or March. And they're just now starting to
That's-
taper off.
It's because you're down south, so that
Yeah.
everything starts earlier there. Except for winter. You never have winter.
Yeah, it just never occurs. But soon enough, there's a really nice thing about summer is a double-edged sword. Okay, it's really good because for allergy sufferers, because it puts all the plants into dormancy so that they don't really. None of them really are doing much. And so you don't really have to mow as often and you don't have allergens as badly. But it's also 106 in the shade.
Yep.
Ugh.
With 40%
When it
humidity.
gets over 75, I'm like, why is it so hot?
Oh, I've marched for a
Of
couple
course,
hours at a time in 100+ weather. It's fun.
of course, I'm the type of person who could go around in 30-degree weather in just a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. When you get used to the heat, you're more vulnerable to the cold. When you, when you when you get used to the cold, you're more vulnerable to the heat.
I have, when I was working at Dunkin' Donuts, I actually spent 2 hours in the freezer doing inventory in just a long sleeve shirt.
Dang.
Well,
That's your northern Midwesterners for you.
I've worn like 3 giant jackets in 100-degree weather.
No, you haven't.
I did, and I felt really stupid, and so I took them off.
Let's say it makes you feel like you're at 300 degrees or something like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
in case you didn't know, I used to live in Texas.
I know.
I know how hot it is.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
well, it's mostly when we're talking about the weather. It's usually between Doc and I.
Under your egos,
I live in
everything's
Kentucky.
big in Texas.
I live in Kentucky. The weather's generally bipolar here. Like, one time,
I I live in Chicago.
yeah. It gets cold.
You want bipolar weather? Go to
Yeah.
Chicago.
Well,
We had 85-degree weather followed by a 40-degree low.
nice.
Yeah, you want bipolar
85
weather? Go to
Right.
Seattle.
Yeah.
I
You know what?
visited Seattle, and in the span of 20 minutes, it was blazing hot, it was freezing cold, it started raining, and it started snowing in the span of 20 minutes.
Sounds about right. But
Sounds like Chicago too.
one time
That
we had a
happened TonyCon, not this past one, the one before.
yeah. One time we had a massive tornado outbreak. The next day it was windy. The next day it snowed 5 inches, and I had no school. I was like, "It snowed?" He's like, "Yeah." I looked outside and went, "We just had a tornado outbreak 2 days ago. We had sent home early. So we got lucky though, because it like split. Like we were in central Kentucky at the time. Like the bad stuff was either north or south of us. But anyway,
Yeah, we don't get particularly wild shifts, but we do get extreme weather. We get some pretty strong thunderstorms pretty regularly. Severe thunderstorm warning is not a. It's like not even a cause for alarm. It's just like, oh, okay, it's gonna rain a bit.
okay, Bearstein said then. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's gonna be lightning. Okay, well I'm inside. No big deal. The only thing that even perks your ears is hail or tornadoes, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Which they say every time, oh, it could be hail, just so they get you to pay attention to them.
There were some
Yeah.
tornadoes like 45 miles north of me yesterday.
Okay, let's read some punalicious pun.
All right.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday, Rubik! I got you a sonic screwdriver.
Oh my gosh, you're the best girlfriend ever.
Ta-da!
Thanks, Melanie. It's great.
I'm sure it'll have a special place on his workbench, even if it only gets used to collect dust. Artwork by Tills Kip.
Why does Princess Celestia's hair flow?
Great job, my little ponies. See you tomorrow.
That makes sense. Now I understand why the Barbers Union in Canterlot has so much influence on work by Avarius.
Are you afraid of the dark?
I'm a night guard. We're not afraid of the dark. It's afraid of us.
When there's something lurking in the dark, we have two options. Either we drag it into the light or we bury it in the void. Artwork by Chris Pokefan.
Angry bards.
I love that. I love that. They're going to deliver a beatdown. Or at least some beats. Artwork by Gashibak A.
Don't let the Pun X Sunshine ship sink. Bill
I
faster.
think I'm trying.
What is it with folks and putting two ponies in a boat together? Artwork by Area.
As the descendant of the dragon, have you or any of your ancestors ever hoarded gems or other items?
I hoard knowledge, which only has value when it's shared.
I love books, for the knowledge they hold rather than any physical objects. A book that simply sits on a shelf unread has no value. The most valuable books in the world are those that are read until they fall apart. Artwork by Rainbow
Agreed.
Hooves.
What happens when you cross a pony and a fish?
A well-fed pony.
Looking kind of skinny, aren't you there? Thanks for the fillet of flounder.
The Pundit
Pundit.
versus the Lark. Very soon, that needle I've tied to your hoof will go straight into your head and, well, I think you'll get the point.
You won't get me to face with that easily, bird brain.
Ha! You think you can beat me in verbal sparring?
With what I'm tied to, I'd call it verbal fencing.
Still chained to the same rusty old jokes, aren't you?
Not at all. You'll see. Oh no, the last one is. Oh, here we go. I always keep my wits about me.
Accursed pundit, I'll get you next time.
These magical comic books can be fun. This is the third installment of The Pundit. Artwork by Chris Pokefan.
If you could build one thing, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as you could honestly call it your own, what would it be?
A family.
Oh yes. I didn't need to cry today. See the full size of Pun Stream family here. Artwork by Gashibak.
Urubik, the Telltale Heart says you're from Canterlot. Care to share a story as to why you left? Thanks for helping me sort all this junk, Han.
No problem, darling. Oh, neat. A photo album. Who's this cute, sad little unicorn?
That's me.
What? Artwork by Telskip.
Is this... I guess this is his...
Yeah, it's
I see,
Rubik.
Yeah.
Rubik. Okay. My family are part of the Longhorns, the elites of Canterlot. While Celestia and the Alicorns rule Equestria, it's the Longhorns that rule Canterlot through their excessive inherited wealth. Every Longhorn is born into an aristocracy where they'll never want for wealth, prestige, or the attention of the masses. The Longhorns trace their lineage back to Starswool the Bearded and have kept their lineage untainted of non-unicorns since before the Alicorns. As you can imagine, an Earth Pony has no business being a Longhorn. My mother and father, who I hesitate to call my parents, welcomed me to the world with contempt and scorn.
How could a parent do anything but love their offspring? Artwork by Telskip.
The Longhorns didn't dare reveal that their new foal was a mere earth pony, but they had already announced my birth for the publicity. They decided to cover up my condition with dye and glue. To this day, I hate baths from the weekly dyeing they put me through. I had to pretend to be incompetent at magic to hide my lack of a real horn. As you can imagine, not being able to project magic made me quite the target in a unicorn school. Only me being a longhorn kept me safe from serious bullying. Even back then, I noticed that an incompetent unicorn was treated better than a skilled earth pony.
Colors are a big part of our identity as ponies. Being dyed against your will is rather dramatic. Joke by Tailskip.
I wasn't allowed to see other ponies outside of school, so solving puzzles became one of my few sources of entertainment. A steady supply of them was a cheap price to keep me docile. Of course, my older brothers, I was just one of their toys. They tried to humiliate me by solving all my most difficult puzzles with just their magic. I had plenty of time to plan a counter. I used what I had learned in school about magic and my spare time to design a puzzle that magic would break instead of solve. That day, I got back my pride and earned my cutie mark.
I love it. Pride is a fickle and yet immeasurable important thing. Joke by Tailskip.
Even if I couldn't project magic, demonstrating magic was only 30% of your grade in Magic Academy. I got a 70% in everything, which was enough to graduate. After I graduated, my continued presence in Canterlot was a nuisance to the Longhorns. Every day was one more chance the scandal of my earth pony nature could be exposed. Eventually, I made a deal with my father. The Longhorns would secure the paperwork for a new identity unrelated to them, and Rubik Longhorn would be recorded as having moved far away. I washed out the dye, ripped off and burned the fake horn, and walked out the service entrance to my family mansion as a normal earth pony. I took the train straight to Ponyville, and I've never looked back.
That's one resilient foal. For those reading the archive, please click here to read the story arc from the beginning on Joke by Tailskip.
With every pony expecting the worst from you, other ponies probably get mad at your quick wits and inappropriate settings, making it so you need to be on your best behavior at all times. I guess you really have to toe the one-liners at formal events, huh?
Dear diary, some folk think that since I'm able to be funny, I'm unable to not be funny.
The punchline is that some folks generally expect everything I say to have a punchline on Joke by Area.
Next page.
Say happy, Groove. Say
Be
happy,
happy.
Groove. Did you
Don't worry. Nothing. And I'm gonna do a quick check, see if we have any comments. Nope. Okay.
There's one. Madrak needs to back less vampire. Hey, Happy Groove, did you ever think of being a ballet dancer? I'm not thin enough for that. I couldn't fit into a tutu, so I'd have to wear a 3-3.
Yeah, she does have some pudge. High energy ponies need a lot of calories, and we need someone to store those calories so we don't run out in the middle of the dance number. Artwork by Gashibake.
If you could wear one of the princess's crowns, which crown would you wear?
I am the Mega Alicorn!
No, oh my god, oh god. What do you mean it doesn't work like that? Artwork by Rufu.
Multiple sunglasses?
Here are all submissions for Sunshine Morning Sunglasses. Thank you to everyone who participated. We plan to start doing events like this monthly with a fill-in-the-blank part of the picture, then gifting. Hooray for verbal noun. The submission together All the images have been posted to the Project Mod blog.
Diamond tiara.
When you first met Mom, did you think she was Miss Right?
Yes, but I didn't know her first name was Always.
Shh. I don't get it, Dad. You will when you're older. Hot Dog by CNET.
Can you bear some pony crying? What you usually do to help them?
And that's how I can bear some pony crying.
Let's see. What does the thing say? It
Teddy
says
bear launcher.
teddy bear.
Mark II.
Oh, I wonder what happened to Mark 1.
It was not pretty.
Oh.
There were cover-ups needed.
Oh, my.
And then a door-to-door sales pony appears.
Scout cookies.
I find it morally irresponsible that they're having these little fillies hawk merchandise for an organization under the guise of teaching them life lessons. Also take 4 boxes of Thin Mints. Artwork by Telskip.
Hey, Pun. What if a big, scary dragon tried to eat you? What would you do?
Depending on the dragon type, you want to strike at the nerve bundles located near the nostrils between the wings and just behind the shoulder hip joints. Even scout armor will protect against a few fire breaths and claw strikes, but the bite and tail slam can bypass even full cord armor. Fortunately, as distant dragonkin, a dragon will just demand I leave its territory rather than try to eat me. Though a few of my best jokes are enough to slay even a dragon's appetite.
We get the occasional dignitary from the Dragon Kingdom visiting Equestria. We make sure all the ponies they see on their trip look capable of giving a dragon more than a stomach ache. Artwork by Gashibake.
I saw your Hewison post, and I just have to ask. You eat meat? You're a bucking pony, for Celestia's sake. You're not supposed to be eating meat.
Equestrian
Meat.
military preparedness. Meat production subsidies.
Meat is produced in Equestria as part of our military readiness. Many of you have raised objections to this, so I'll explain why it's necessary. While most ponies have an aversion to eating meat, meat has exponentially more calories than grain by weight. Part of Royal Guard training includes the ability to eat meat. 1 wagon of meat can thus replace 16 wagons of grain. This improves the efficiency of military supply line enough to turn the tide in a war. The government provides a financial subsidiary to those who can produce meat, which maintains the capacity to increase the production should the need arise.
Oh my god,
Small
Fluttershy.
The small domestic demand for meat provides extra income for those who produce it. Without this demand, the subsidies for meat production would need to be much higher. While some ponies have ethical issues with the domestic meat market, the alternative involves higher taxes to fully subsidize meat production. The end.
I never realized how dark Fluttershy was. Meat is only a social taboo rather than a legal one. If meat were made illegal, it would still be produced on the black market and beyond the influence of regulation. As for those 4 royal guards doing their training, you can see more of them at Ask for Inept Guard Ponies. Artwork by Rufo. Okay, I see ya, Gray.
See it?
Bye. My cousin.
I thought an apple a day kept the doctor away.
You think I'm a nurse, not a doctor.
Then what keeps the nurses away?
Student loan collection agencies.
Don't get it. Count yourself lucky then. After by Shavrek.
Applejack's Apple Tree Kit. Every pony needs an apple. Fluttershy's Bird Watching Kit.
Let's watch our little friends.
Aww.
Pinkie Pie's Easy Bake Oven.
It makes cupcakes using a light bulb.
Bedazzler.
Sparkles are an easy way to add glamour.
Twilight Sparkles Chemistry Set.
Let's do a science.
Yeah, I love the little things like good idea, bad idea.
Rainbow Dash Lawn Darts.
Throw 'em high, throw 'em hard.
It's like very bad idea. Not every pony is cut out for product endorsement. Artwork by Wadusher.
I need all these old records. Go ahead.
I need all these old records shredded.
Okay, will there be anything else?
I'll need copies of them too, just in case.
The customer is always right, or at least they always think they are. You can see more of our local politician at From the Desk of Mayor Mayor, and the pony from the local copy center at Ask a Copy Center Pony, artwork by Tailskip.
See, the thing to do with that one is to just put all the paperwork aside, let her leave, let her come back, and then just hand it right back to her.
Yep.
That's not me making all that clacking noise. Are you typing?
No. I'm not even moving.
Yeah, that's not news. Oh. Oh,
Anyway.
this looks like... Oh, this looks like fun. A simple pattern of rotation should solve this in no time. Why won't these line up? I just moved that one. Let's see how you like solving a spell.
Blah.
Ow. Ow. What? You really shouldn't cheat at puzzles, Twilight.
And this is why Rubik makes such a good living from his puzzles. Unicorns get obsessive about solving them. Try to cheat, break it, and then buy another one. Artwork by Tumble Trotter. Background by Bone Wallbach.
Why is pony for the treasure marker? Because equus marks the spots.
Wow. Just wow. A shout out to my pal, apprentice, / rival, at AskPower Dash, artwork by CloudDG.
I used to wonder why baseballs would get bigger when they're thrown. But then it hit me.
Okay, Ace. Throw it nice and hard. One Ace brand speedball coming up. Good throw. I'm an ace on the diamond. This is an anime reference. How was that? You have to throw it in all 3 dimensions, Ace. My bad. I didn't want it to hit the 4th wall.
Just toss you around a ball with my pal Ace Pony, uttered by Chris Bookfan. Oh, that's a cool pun. Dota 2. You know, I've actually never played Dota. I might sometime.
I've never heard of it.
And
Me and my
that's a page
crew
ending.
be getting our game on. Oh yeah, getting game on.
Get your game.
Well, well, that was that. It's like the greatest.
We're on 75. We're going to be on 75.
Yes.
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? Look at that! I didn't sneeze at all. That's something. So yeah, I guess.
Oh.
I don't care about
prep.
computer. I'll update you when I want to update you, okay? So shut up.
Okay.
You shut up.
Okay, let me go. Oh, snap. Google Chrome ran out of memory, which, yeah, whatever.
Okay. Now I have to realign this stuff.
Yes, and I have to go into fanfiction. Hopefully it still has my bookmark.
Oh, mine reloaded the page and lost my part.
Let me get this settled up and I'll...
Uh,
This worked out.
no, it's not what I wanted to do. Ah, damn it. Don't do that, you butt. Your butt. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Stories. My library. Oh, and there's my library. Yes.
Okay, there we go. Oh, come on. Okay, that looks good.
Yeah.
We're at Applejack pulled on the rope.
Okay, well.
Chapter 10, Checkmate, Part 2. Critical move.
My bookmark should still be there, so let's see. Where am I?
That was just
Okay,
in
there we
case
go.
it wasn't.
Part 2. Damn, I can't believe we're almost done with this. Just a year to go.
Yes.
Okay. And my page is loading.
I think we're on Applejack with the rope of the curtains.
Yes.
That's weird. My bookmark's at a different spot.
What spot?
Well, it's like I've only been emotionally broken by Discord, attacked by a manicore, kidnapped by a giant rampaging dragon,
Yeah,
had my shop beaten up. Oh no,
Yeah,
I see it. I see it. It's down there. Okay.
Yeah, it's the end of that.
Okay. Yeah, I see it now. Okay. Anybody need a glass of water before we start?
Glass of water.
Okay. Well, if
I got a
everybody's
big glass
good.
of water before we started the pun so that I wouldn't have to go get any more.
You can have a
Okay.
fresh press.
If everybody's good night.
I'm not good. I'm awful. I'm horrible. I'm evil.
Tomorrow's going to be 99 degrees.
Jeez Louise.
Okay.
Fun times abound.
We might actually finish this chapter. Okay. Let's do
Tomorrow
this.
is going to be 69 degrees.
So
and thunderstorm.
this is Trixie getting back on her hooves. Chapter 10. Checkmate. Part 2. Part 3?
I don't know.
Yeah, me either. Anyways, critical move. Here we go.
It's the next part.
Applejack pulled on the rope of the curtains as a test, causing Checker and helping Hoof to cover their ears at the loud squeaking of the pulleys.
What the hay was that? I mean, those pulleys are certainly noisy.
Yep, they most certainly are.
Applejack added,
Miss
completely truthfully.
Miss Monarch!
Called Pinkie Pie, hopping over.
Fluttershy wants to talk to you about the birds.
Hey, what happened to your Pinkie voice?
Oh, right. I forgot. Fluttershy wants to talk to you about the birds.
Checker raised
forgot.
Checker raised an annoyed eyebrow.
Coming.
She said, following the pink pony off stage, helping Hoof and Toe. After she walked away, Applejack closed the curtains and climbed up on a ladder to oil the boys.
Now, what is this about birds?
Checker asked, looking at Fluttershy from behind her sunglasses.
I thought you might want to hear the birds. If that's all right.
Fluttershy replied timidly, hiding behind her mane.
Show me.
Fluttershy fluttered over to her birds and began leading them like an orchestra commander. Applejack tested the curtains again, which now barely made any noise, and from where Pinkie Pie stood, they couldn't be heard at all over the birds. When she stood nearby and gave a nod, she peeked out and looked up carefully, seeing Rainbow Dash and Tarpy moving the presently calm storm clouds in such a way that light didn't shine directly on the stage through the curtain when they were open. The three nodded subtly to one another and snuck off.
Everything's ready, Twilight.
Pinkie reported to Twilight, who hid in a bush nearby with Trixie.
The diamond dogs?
Asked Trixie, carefully, not poking her head out.
Rarity is taking care of them as we speak.
Pinkie Pie continued. Twilight nodded.
All right. Thank you, Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie gave a salute and sucked into a bush, causing Twilight and Trixie to blink as they then peeked in and found her gone. Twilight turned to Trixie.
You ready, Trixie?
As Trixie will ever be.
Twilight.
Called a hushed voice. A white stallion with a blue mane with lighter blue stripes walked over slowly, keeping an eye out.
BBBFF.
Twilight replied, keeping her voice hushed, but hugging the stallion. Trixie blinked, raising an eyebrow.
BBBFF.
Beep, beep.
Oh wait, that's
That was
wait,
Trixie.
Yeah, sorry.
Beep, 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 F, F.
Big brother, best friend forever.
Oh,
Twilight smiled, but kept an eye out for anyone who might throw a wrench in the works.
This is my big brother, Shining Armor. He's the one I sent the letter to last night.
Trixie nodded, though looked a little envious.
Trixie's glad to meet you, Shining Armor.
Giant Armor gave a smile and a nod.
Same here. It's good to meet another of Twilight's friends.
Trixie nodded.
Trixie is pleased to be her friend. Your little sister is one of the kindest mares she ever met.
The captain of the Royal Guard smiled and put a hoof on Twilight's shoulder.
I know.
Trixie once more looked a little jealous as Twilight smiled back but shook it off.
Not to sound rude, but why exactly did you summon your older brother, Twilight?
Twilight smiled.
We needed someone high up in Equestria to see this in order for this to work. Shining Armor is the captain of the Royal Guard, and now officially a prince since he married Princess Cadence. I'd have called the princesses, but they're all on a diplomatic visit to the Griffin Kingdom today.
Trixie's jaw dropped.
You called in the captain of the Royal Guard?
Twilight shushed Trixie and looked around. No one had noticed. She didn't give a smile to Trixie.
When it comes to my friends being in trouble, I don't mess around. All right, girls, let's get in position.
Shining Armor Shining Armor said seriously. He then smiled to his sister.
We'll catch up later.
He said, trotting off carefully. Trixie once more looked jealous, causing Twilight to frown. She didn't need to guess to understand.
Trixie, for what it's worth, I might not be your biological sister, but I'm proud you think of me as one.
Trixie suddenly felt quite foolish. She didn't say a word, merely hugged Twilight before they commenced the plan.
Thanks for the ride, boys!
said Helena, stepping out the chariot. Chariot and floating them a few bits. She then peeked over to the assembled crowd.
What's this?
She saw Checker's chariot sitting nearby, chauffeurs waiting to be needed.
Checker? Well, isn't that a surprise?
She stated, taking a place in the crowd.
Both my granddaughters in one place.
She said, and looked a little sad.
I wonder if Checker is doing all right.
She muttered, knowing Checker had been headed down the wrong path last time they'd seen each other. Checker was applying little makeup in a mirror, giving a deranged smirk, letting her mask crack for a moment.
Almost showtime.
She stated, turning and walking over to the main backstage area, noticing everyone had cleared out, but helping Hoof probably to go wait for the presentation to start. She peeked out from behind the curtain, seeing the board of directors watching. She smirked and trotted back to get ready.
Checkmate.
Trixie?
Helping Hoof asked as he spun around in shock. Checker blinked, turning and seeing Trixie standing not that far away, dripping wet and covered in mud, shivering and generally looking like she'd gone through hay. Her legs quaked, and she panted heavily. Checker narrowed her eyes.
Why, hello there.
Checker replied, strangely unsurprised.
Let me just turn off the microphone so we can talk properly.
She said, her face becoming motionless as she pulled the microphone off and shut it off, then crushed it on her hoof, causing Trixie to give a gasp.
I can be so clumsy sometimes.
Checker looked over at the microphones and made sure they were all shut off before walking over to Trixie. She telekinetically pulled Trixie's mane and tail straight, revealing a similar microphone kept under her mane, which was shut off and crushed.
Seriously, no, Trixie. Did you really expect me not to see that coming?
She does have a point there. Trixie now looked genuinely scared, and she wasn't acting.
How did you... I may have dropped you in the middle of nowhere. Did you really honestly think I would not consider the possibility you would not stay there? Why do you think I kept the Diamond Dogs hired?
She asked, looking around and making sure no one was there but her and Helping Hoof. She then gave an unhinged smirk.
Such an obvious move, Trixie. Come here, steal a microphone and get me to talk about my plan while it's broadcast to the world? Please, that's so predictable.
Helping Hoof slowly peeked over at the microphone on the table, then back to Trixie and Checker, a conflicted and guilt-ridden look in his eye. What should he do?
If that's all that matters to you, then maybe Checker was right. Maybe you are weak.
Helping Hoof looked back at his fake cutie mark, then back to the scene before him, the frightened look on Trixie's face after all that had happened to her. She still hadn't given up. She'd come all this way to try and stop Checker. A determined look formed on his face.
You see, Trixie, dear.
Checker said, taking out her chessboard.
Chess is about being 3 moves ahead of your opponent. You tried to be 1 move ahead of me, and I was already 2 ahead of you. Simple as that, really.
As Checker looked to her chessboard, Helping Hoof walked up and looked at Trixie, who met his gaze. He winked at her and carefully opened his vest to reveal a microphone hidden there, activation light on. Trixie gave a hidden smirk as Helping Hoof covered the microphone before Checker saw it. She returned to acting terrified as her sister's gaze returned to her, but still she felt a tug in her heart.
Checker, please, let's just stop this. You leave me alone, I leave you alone. We're sisters. Isn't that how it should be?
Trixie asked, actually being genuine. Truth be told, she did not want to give her sister. She did want to give her sister one last chance to turn back. She may have been a monster and had to be stopped, but they were still blood.
Please, let's just end this and go our separate ways.
Checker just laughed.
You are in no position to tell me that. Now your options are simple. You can go with plan B. Go out there and tell them how rotten your mean big sister is. Here we go.
Said Spike, Skulu nodding, pressing the correct button.
Go out and tell the world Checkered Monarch's big plan to ruin 6 perfectly innocent mares' lives.
Let's see. Checker voice said over the speakers outside. Pinky hushed the crowd before they could explain their shock. Shiny Armor motioned some guards come to his side and don his purple royal guard armor.
And then I act the part of the wounded mare who's been accused of such horrible things on false grounds. Because guess what, Trixie? You don't have any evidence. You're 100% right above me. Right about me, but who's going to believe a filthy homeless mare over the most powerful mare in Manhattan?
Diamond Tiara blinked as the words reached her ears.
Miss Monarch?
The filly asked.
What's going on here?
She asked, though something about what Checker said, it made her feel strange, kind of sick.
Guess what, little sister? Your wonderful friends will vouch for you, of course, but I will just make sure they go down with you. I will still ruin them no matter what you do. Those who help the weak fall with them. That is just how the world works. Little sister?
Diamond muttered, eyes shrinking to pinpricks. She looked up at her parents, then to Silver Spoon. The thought of doing something like that to them, it made her sick.
Checker, how can you do this to your own sister?
Trixie's voice demanded, sounding rather hurt and broken. Checker gave a demented chuckle.
My sister, do you think that really matters? You don't get it, do you? The strong rule the weak. I can manipulate every pony else as easy as breathing. That means I'm the strongest. That means you and every pony else the weak. And that means you are all just pawns to do with as I please whenever I feel like it. Still doesn't explain why you've done this to me, Checker. It's simple, really. Ever since you were born, the spotlight has been split between you and me. And I've always had to share it with you. And guess what, Trixie? I don't share.
Diamond listened and suddenly felt like she was gonna throw up. A bully? Yes, and proud of it. But she still loved her father and her mother, even if she hadn't been there for all that much recently. The thought of doing something like this to any of them, or even to Silver Spoon, who could do that to their own family? And why did it make her feel so bad to hear?
Good job. You really are a lot like I was when I was a kid. Keep up the good work. Someday you may just be like me. Just like her?
Diamond muttered, fear filling her face as it sunk in. Her mother noticed her daughter's fear and gave her a comforting nuzzle. Helena gasped as she heard the words, feeling like a knife to the heart. No, 2 of them, one for Trixie's suffering and one for Checker being the one that caused it.
Checker, I knew you weren't the nicest pony, but
She muttered, a tear ran down her face.
how could you How could you do that to Trixie?
She then heard something and looked to Checker's chauffeurs, who seemed to panic. She crept over towards them suspiciously, listening closely.
Oh, this isn't good.
Oh.
Checker's busted. We've got to get out of here.
Yelled at one of them, looking panicked.
Relax, what did we do? Pretend you didn't know anything.
Another replied coolly.
But they're going to believe Trixie. We're accessories to a kidnapping, and we don't have the excuse of being her favorite pawn like Helping Hoof. They're not going to let us off the hook. He's right. Let's bail. Oh, go ahead.
Yet another replied.
Let's bail. He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day. You aren't going anywhere.
Helena stated, trotting up to them, glaring straight through them.
Stay out of this, old lady. This doesn't have anything to do with you.
I'm not an old lady.
Helena replied, giving them a glare rivaling the stare of his intensity.
I'm a grandmother, and you just admitted to knowingly hurting my granddaughter.
And my friends?
Trixie asked, crocodile tears flowing, but convincing enough.
Why are you ruining them? Because they didn't like following my strategy. They decided they weren't going to be the good little pawns and go according to my plan. No pony was ever supposed to like you. That isn't how I wanted it.
Checker yelled, taking off her glasses and glaring at Trixie, who did her best to avoid eye contact. Buzz forced to look and struggled to remain composed. Checker looked away to check if anyone was watching while she did that. Trixie subtly moved pieces on her board as she recovered on Checker's side. Trixie moved a pawn to d4, Trixie's knight moving to f6. Sure, it wasn't necessary, but Trixie liked the irony and drama of it.
I don't care what you want, Checker.
Trixie growled. Arr.
I want to have friends.
Checker growled, glaring daggers at Trixie, making her heart skip a beat.
What you want doesn't matter. So now you know what? Forget the options. Rover, Spot, Fido.
Checker called the three diamond dogs, dashing up and grabbing Trixie's shoulders. Trixie struggled, but the moment Checker took her eyes off Trixie to do another check for anyone watching, Trixie moved the board again, and the diamond dogs merely pretended not to see. Checker's knight then moved to d2. Trixie played with pawn to e5. Checker's pawn took Trixie's pawn.
You don't get a choice. You don't get a choice. You're going to be dragged off to their mind to turn into their personal slave. I'll come to pay them to let you see the sun. Just long enough to see your friends' houses torn down. After you brutally ruin their lives.
Trixie asked, glaring daggers at her sister. The birds started singing. Checker gave an insane smile.
Exactly, and I will make sure to give you a status report on that frequently. It's just about showtime, so little sister. Any last words before I give the order?
Trixie suddenly gave a smirk.
Just one.
The showmare said, motioning her with her eyes to the chessboard as she moved her knight to g4. Checker's pawn moved to h3 in response. Checker looked at the chessboard and gasped as she saw the pieces positioning. Something seemed strangely familiar about it. Trixie moved her knight to e3, seamlessly checking Checker's queen, so one of Checker's pawns took the knight in defense, leaving her open to Trixie's queen move to h4 for check. Checker's side replied with the only move possible response. Pawn to g3, the queen took the pawn, leaving the king trapped, and then hit Checker where she'd seen it before.
So, going after my queen?
asked Checker with a chuckle, taking the knight. Trixie smirked and moved her queen to h4.
Check.
Checker's eyes widened. She moved pawn to g3, looking on in disbelief. Trixie's queen took the pawn.
Checkmate.
Trixie said with a smirk, her horn glowing and a magic costume peeling off, revealing her good as new underneath it, though still soaked. Suddenly, a spotlight fell on Checker, causing her to turn and see a hole in the clouds created by Ram Dash, letting a pillar of sunlight down on her, the audience staring at her in disgust and shock. Checker could only watch the crowd in complete shock, eyes as big as dinner plates as boos were sent her way. The board directors rose up and looked down in disgust before walking away. Shiny Armor stepped forward, flanked by several royal guards, narrowing his eyes at her. Checker took a few steps backward in disbelief.
What? No.
Pinky chuckled, walking up to the stage.
Oh, here comes my favorite part.
She whispered to Rarity, who was watching with her. Pinky then mouthed a big
No. No.
Checker yelled before being blinded by camera flashes, including those from Featherweight sitting in front row. She looked at the Diamond Dogs, who released Trixie and stood glaring at her while Trixie shook the water from her coat.
What? You're helping them? That's the thing about hired guns, Miss Monarch.
Rarity said as she stepped up on the stage, taking off a pair of saddlebags and throwing them to Rover, who checked inside to find them full of valuable gems.
They're loyal to money, not to clients. But how could you outbid me? Griffins have a saying, darling.
Said the fashionista, giving a smirk.
Give a griffin a fish, feed him for a day. Feed a griffin a fish for a lifetime. Or, in this case, offer a diamond dog a single huge batch of gems, sate him for a bit, offer them a long-term mutually beneficial agreement, sate him for a lifetime. That and Checker, they might not have been observant enough to see it on your model.
Trixie said as Twilight, Applejack, Fluttershy, and Ramdash joined the group in backing up Trixie and stopping Checker from fleeing.
Trixie finally realized why the location of your new mall seemed familiar once her friends pointed it out. It was right on top of their mind.
And Diamond Dogs not like mean pony.
Rover announced, glaring and snarling at Checker.
Diamond Dogs quit.
Checker slowly opened up her chessboard with wide eyes, desperately trying to figure out what went wrong.
But how did you but I destroyed the microphones. How did you broadcast me?
Twilight blinked in confusion.
I actually don't know. I didn't even know the microphones got destroyed.
Helping Hoof stepped forward, walking over to Trixie's side and opening his vest to reveal his microphone. Checker backpedaled in surprise and snarled in fury.
I control you. You can't betray me.
Correction. You used to control me, and I'm sick and tired of it.
Helping Hoof replied,
I'm sick of being under every pony's hooves. I'm sick of helping you hurt innocent ponies. And you know what else?
Checker snarled in a infernal manner.
You're fight.
I'm not fired. I quit.
Helping Hoof interrupted, glaring at her. He tore off his fake cutie mark and threw it in her face. Helping Hoof panted and smiled.
That actually felt good.
Checker snarled and snorted in rage, leaping at Helping Hoof like a tiger going for the kill, only for Trixie to teleport the two of them out of her path, causing Checker to slam face first into a storage crate. Twilight smiled as Trixie looked to Helping Hoof proudly once they got up from from landing upside down. Off the teleport, though, she could tell Trixie was still a bit out of it from the teleport.
Royal guards, arrest that mare.
Ordered Mare from the audience, looking quite furious off. Shiny Armor nodded and approached with guards alongside them.
Checker Monarch, you're under arrest. Come quietly and make it easier for yourself.
Checker got back to her host and looked at her chessboard, snarling in rage as she tried to figure out a plan. But it was her turn not to have one to save herself. But one with another outcome began to form.
No, not yet. This isn't over yet.
She muttered to herself, her telekinetic grasp causing a small box the board was projected from to begin cracking. Yeah.
This isn't over.
The madmare stated. Her chessboard broke apart even further. Her voice lost all refinement, reverting slowly to her more high-pitched tone.
Isn't over.
Checker yelled, shattering her chessboard completely, horn glowing brightly, more and more magic pouring into it. Trixie gasped, staggering back.
Checker, what are you doing? I'm not losing. I refuse to lose.
Checker yelled, pouring more magic into it. A beam of magic shot off her horn, surrounding each of the group for a brief moment before she smirked and began powering it more. Ramdash shook her head, a little disorientated.
Oh, what was that?
Twilight shook her head as well.
I don't know. It felt like mind magic.
She muttered and looked at the mare's horn, the massive amount of power she was pouring into it, and gasped as she realized what was happening.
Checker, you're overstressing your horn. Stop it before you hurt yourself.
Shining Armor gasped at the sight.
Twily, get out of there!
He yelled, galloping towards the stage. Trixie instinctively put herself in front of Helping Hoof. Twilight tried to raise a shield, but was too disoriented to do so.
I don't care if we all lose, then I win.
Checker yelled, a completely deranged look on her face.
Here's where the nightmare really starts.
She screamed, giving an insane laugh before a massive flash of light went off and everything went black. To be continued. Cue cheery ending theme. Do 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 do. Oh
Surprised you didn't dance
wow!
a chicken dance.
Oh sorry. Dun, 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 dun.
It's like one of the few times where that would actually be super appropriate.
I know.
Oh my! We made good time. We pretty much ended at 10, like a minute before. But damn.
Yep.
No, we started at 10. It's noon now.
Oh, shut up. Next, let's see.
We outnumber you, so it's noon.
Let's see. Let's see. Is the next chapter the last chapter, not including the bonus?
I don't know.
Let me check. No. Damn it. Okay. Let's see. So we are.
Yes, it's the last for the bonus.
And God damn this. Let me see something.
12,115 words.
The last chapter's the longest.
Yep.
God damn. So, how much you want to bet Checker
Let's
gets
think about
reformed?
3 weeks. This will take about 3 more weeks, and then 4 weeks, and then the bonus side story and GBYOH will probably take 1 day together.
Ooh, and
So
there's
we'll
a
be done by July.
sequel.
No.
Yeah. It's the bonus thing. That's
Well, it
204
says bonus story
Two
2 and sequel.
Yeah, so it's 242 words.
Hmm. Yay. Well, let's see if anybody has anything to say.
Well, we should
Greg,
be done by July, so probably we can have a 4th of July type story if anybody has any of those.
probably. I'm planning on going to the beach on the 4th of July.
I'm not. When is the 4th of July?
A Tuesday.
Oh wait, huh?
It's on Tuesday.
Oh yeah. Plus, we're probably gonna be closed, so it doesn't matter.
I would have to travel like 6 hours to get to the beach, so I'm probably not going.
4 hours for me.
I actually am only like 20 minutes away from a beach. There's a beach like 3 towns over in Evanston.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, I think
But
that's
I
it.
don't
Well,
like the beach because it's crowded. There are
goodbye,
people-
streamy people.
There-
We
I
love
burn.
you.